All right, still good to go. We'll call this meeting of the Morton County Commission on September 11th, 2025. It is 5:35. We will call the meeting to order. Our first item of business is the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody's best sign there. Better place to stand.
Next, we'll have the roll call. Commissioner Zachmeyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Buckley?
Here.
Commissioner Tokash?
Here.
Commissioner Morrell?
Here.
And myself, Commissioner Boehm. All commissioners are present. We also have Auditor Roan up here at the front, and State's Attorney Copy, and Sheriff Kirkmeyer in the back of the room. Next is the approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Next is the approval of the minutes from the August 26, 2025 Morton County Commission regular meeting.
Move to approve the minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the August 26, 2025 Morton County Commission regular meeting. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Commissioner Buckley, you had bills this month.
I did. I found everything to be in order, Mr. Chairman, so I would move to approve the monthly bills and payroll.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the monthly bills and payroll. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Commissioner Buckley?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrell?
Yes.
Commissioner Tokash?
Yes.
Commissioner Zachmeyer?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Motion carries. All right, thank you, everybody. We'll get going here. First up tonight, Alan Copy with the Morton County State's Attorney's Office. We're going to have some introductions, I guess, or they're going to introduce themselves. One or the other. Actually, we get Chase up here instead.
You do.
Yeah.
Good evening, commissioners. Unfortunately, Jeff wasn't able to make it tonight, but we do have Declan, our law clerk. He'll be taking the bar in February, and we're glad to have him. I turn him over to you for any questions you may have. Please be nice.
Yeah.
Want to retain him.
We won't chase him away. Can you tell, Declan, can you give us a little bit about yourself? Where are you from? And
Yeah, my name's Declan George. Born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. Came up here for law school and, fell in love with it, so I've been planning to stay up here.
Good for you. Good for you. Okay, so you have any questions for him?
Did you do undergraduate in Arizona too?
Yep, first time living outside of Arizona was for law school. No, the snow was not as bad because I think it was more of like a mental aspect of the sense of I wasn't going outside when it was 125 degrees, so I wasn't going outside when it was negative 30 degrees. So my mom will tell you that it's a lot scarier for her, but she would text me like, I saw the school's closed, are you okay? And I just said, Mom, I saw the text, I didn't have to go, so I just stayed in and studied. So that's
Yeah.
all but yeah.
It's not as bad as it sounds, is it?
No.
So what made you decide to come to UND to go to law school?
Just out of the places where I got accepted to law school, I was looking for something a little bit different. And then from the law schools I got accepted in, I wanted to go somewhere where it was still part of a college and not just like a separate law school. Because I went to undergrad during COVID, so I didn't I felt like I didn't want to, it seemed like a win-win, like I didn't miss out on undergrad opportunities and still got to go to hockey games and stuff like that. So it was kind of cool.
So, hockey fan.
Yeah, from
There you go.
Arizona.
That's
so
good.
They do have a football team, although they're not very good.
They're getting better. They're getting better. They're getting better. It's a whole new year.
Well-
They did pretty well so far.
Well, their coach is from Mandan, so
Oh, there you go.
that's always on the upside, right, Andy?
Starting the ship.
That's right.
There's a chance.
We know where all the higher learning takes place.
Any other questions? Okay.
Welcome
Hey,
aboard.
Welcome.
Welcome, Declan.
Appreciate it. Nice meeting everyone.
Yeah, we'll get Jeffrey next time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
Plenty
Yep.
of time to think of some questions.
here you go. All right, Don, you're up.
All right, I'll be equally as quick because I don't have many for you tonight. First one's up are abatements 7144 through 7145. These are veterans abatements from the city of Mandan. There is a city of Mandan agenda document attached as well.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the vet credit abatement for 7144 and 7145 for the years 2023 and 2024.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the veterans credit abatements for 2023 and 2024 for the city of Mandan. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. Next one up is abatement 7146 through 7149. This is to adjust the square footage on a vacant lot. Just of note here, this lot was a single lot in 23 and 24. That's why you only see one abatement for each of those years. But there was a parcel split done in 25 to divide it into two lots. So you'll see two abatements for 2025, but it's all for the same property.
Okay, that's the reason for the address changes in there then.
Yeah.
Okay, that I was going to ask you.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve abatements as correct square footage error for lots, abatement 7146 for 2023, 7147 for 2024, 7148 for 2025, and 7149 for 2025.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve abatements 7146 for 2023, 7147 for 2024, 7148, and 7149 for 2025 for square footage correction. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Okay.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I should have a check for you from the fair next week.
For the beer garden?
Yep. It's the one thing that's left yet. Natalie.
Good evening, Commissioners and Auditor Rowe. Our first item is the Defender 3 subdivision. This is in the south half of Section 15, Township 139 North, Range 83 West, located south of County Road 139, about a mile west of Kovash subdivision. So back in 2024, the County Commission approved Defender 1 and 2, which were these properties. This is the current property we're looking at. They want to divide that into two residential lots. So that would max out that quarter, although our rule is it has to be within half mile of a paved road, which it is. So potentially there could be more there, but access off the highway is pretty tough. So this proposed subdivision does have an approach that was approved by the county engineer. So they have a good landing.
So it's right on the east side of that hill, right going up to 94
Yeah.
there, right?
Yep.
Okay,
And there was an existing approach, and these two lots are going to share it.
okay.
So. So please ignore the plat that's in your packet. This is the correct plat. So you'll see one of the lots is a little bit bigger than the other, and then they will have an access easement here so that they can use that shared approach and have room to go to one side or the other. Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval, and I can take any questions.
So Natalie, did the zoning board approved it with this change? That's,
I had to explain it, what was going on with the plat, because also the wrong plat was in the P&Z Commission.
Okay.
But, yeah, this would be the one we're approving.
okay.
Yeah.
So the motion will read the same then?
As present, I would say it as presented,
Okay.
yeah.
That comes up right above that big draw in there, doesn't it? It's right above that.
Yeah, you know, I
Yeah.
have a picture of the approach. So it starts getting, so this is the approach, it kind of
Yeah.
curves off east and goes down, you know, kind of in and around and down. And the hill starts here, so, yeah.
Yeah, I know where that's at. Sure. What are your wishes?
You ready for a motion?
Mm-hmm.
I move to recommend approval of the final plat of the short form subdivision known as Defender 3 subdivision and a zoning map amendment from ag to residential, as the subdivision conforms to the regulations established in Article 7 of the Morton County Land Use Code and conforms to land use priorities established in the 2045 Comprehensive Plan.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the final plat of the short form subdivision known as Defender 3 subdivision and a zoning map amendment from agricultural to residential as presented. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Our next item is the St. Anthony Commercial Park. This is in the northeast quarter of Section 7, Township 136 North, Range 81 West, basically just on the southeast side of town of St. Anthony. They are looking to divide this area up into 4 lots. 3 of them would be rezoned to commercial, and then 1 of them on this side would be rezoned to industrial. It encompasses the rodeo grounds. So we have 2 recommendations from 2 different boards. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approving it just as it is. The Road Commission so there is a right-of-way going through. There'd be a temporary cul-de-sac until anything would develop in the future, and that would be gravelled to begin with. The Road Commission did want a developer agreement such that rodeo grounds would count as 1 lot, and then once 2 more lots would be developed, that would trigger a hard surfacing requirement. That was the recommendation of the Road Commission. I did put a draft developer agreement in your packet in the event that you want to go that route. Planning and Zoning Commission, it was their recommendation that that hard surfacing requirement is not necessary or appropriate in this situation. But Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approving the subdivision and the zoning map amendments. So these 3 lots would be rezoning to commercial, and Lot 2, Block 2 would be rezoning to industrial. I can take questions if you have questions.
Mr. Chairman, can I
Go
make a
ahead.
comment?
Yes.
I believe that when we were dealing with this, or when the road commission was dealing with it, I believe there was also the intent to put I'll call it a service station, convenience store in, and I believe that's what we were working off of, was the need to have a hard surfaced road for heavy traffic, semis, et cetera, to go into there. So at this point, that's not settled yet, correct?
So it's unknown. The only thing that is known at this point, certainly preserve the rodeo grounds, that's known. The next item that we have on the agenda is a butcher shop that would go here. The other two lots are just, reserved for some kind of commercial in the future. The way that the agreement is worded, and again, it's a draft, it can get changed, but the way it's worded is that the county would not issue a certificate of occupancy on that third lot until the road became hard surfaced. So let's say something happened on one of those lots that wasn't a structure, that wouldn't trigger this hard surfacing requirement. It's kind of the idea that if you're adding a structure that is going to create traffic and value, that would trigger that hard surfacing requirement after 3 of those lots get developed. So kind of keeping that in mind, the intensity of the development, that's how it's worded.
Is it fair to say that with the wetland that's going through there now, that's been identified, that those lots have gotten significantly smaller as far as the
Buildable area.
usage?
So this was up front, they had suspected that this would probably be wetland. They do have room on that industrial lot for their septic system, even given this drainage easement. So nothing would get built, nothing can get built in that drainage easement.
Right.
So that was anticipated, I would say. But yes, the lot, certainly, the first lot, you have less buildable area than you even have buildable area. But these are, the two and some change, and that's 5 acres for those lots.
Without the wetland.
Without the wetland, right.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry.
That's with the wetland.
That's the total area. So then you're getting
Yeah.
a little less than half. So that's probably 1.5 acres maybe.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
from Planning and Zoning Board, at least it was my understanding, there wasn't really opposition to having this road paved. But the concern is that there's no rules governing them. If this board would want to go to where commercial and industrial developments must put in paved roads right away, that's something that would, a rule needs to be drafted between Planning and Zoning and the Road Commission, and then public hearings and added to our property regulations. That was more or less the finding of, or the consensus of the Planning and Zoning Board, is we don't have a rule requiring commercial or industrial to be paved. And then there was this brief discussion about residential paving and adopting a rule that Burley County has. My opinion from that discussion was that there wasn't a lot of support to put that rule in place yet. But there was at least good open-minded discussion about changing commercial and industrial to paving. So if this is something that this board would want, it should be then directed to Planning and Zoning and the Road Committee to come up with a rule for commercial and industrial zoning that there will be a paved road. But right now, there's no rule to do it, and I don't believe there was a lot of appreciation to put this on without a corresponding rule. Otherwise, the whole other project was well supported. Did I cover that correctly, Natalie?
Yeah, I think so. And Mr. Chairman, I guess just for the record, Road Commission has had quite a few discussions trying to really wrap their arms around achieving a sustainable policy for paving in the county so that we aren't stretching way too thin in terms of our maintenance. And we have not arrived at a solution yet. So.
So, Mr. Chairman, that road would be turned over to the county once it's completed, built to county specs, correct?
Correct. If it's, if it's gravel, like the default at this moment would be for it to be gravel. We do have that new requirement that has to be a 30-foot road surface so that it is ready to accept hard surfacing if and when that comes. So it would have to be built to that spec, and then we would take it over if it is built to those standards, which I think is the intention.
Well, and I think that the road commission, I think, that's what our concern is that it's gonna be turned over to the county, and then if we're gonna be able to keep it in good shape with just gravel if there's a lot of traffic on it.
And I think I believe that was a discussion, that's my recollection, but the amount of traffic we're going to see on that road for a slaughterhouse and a rodeo ground, I believe is gonna be pretty minimal at this
Correct.
point.
And I can get to that next, but basically maybe 30 trips a week at most, minimal for that.
On the
facility.
butcher shop, yeah.
Yeah.
The rodeo grounds would be busy.
Yes.
1-2 days here and there.
Yeah. And I think the timing of this, we're in the midst of trying to figure out a policy for residential subdivisions which have way more traffic, and it just so happened that this is falling at a moment when we thought we were kind of close to getting a policy, and I think it's somewhat arbitrary that it just happened to be being reviewed at the time when we're getting close to coming up with a policy for hard surfacing. Although, as Commissioner Zachmeyer pointed out, we are not to that policy yet.
Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak to this for information for us? Go ahead, Mark. It's like, we have our public comment or policy now, so if there's somebody for this agenda item, let's talk about it.
Good evening, Commissioners. Mark Isaacs with Independent Land Surveying and Engineering. Just, I guess, a couple things. One thought would be my conversations with the owners of the property developers, as Commissioner Tokash brought up, they were contemplating putting a service station in there. That's probably a little less likely now than it was even a few months ago, so that just, kind of cools everything down as far as, big traffic. I think from the practical standpoint, the thing I would suggest is that if there was a station or any type of service that would go in there like that, that site plan would warrant putting hard surface in, so they would want hard surface out to that county road. So I think it would take care of itself in that situation. It's not like we've got a half a mile to get to the road. I mean, it's right there in this situation, so that I think that helps in looking at least that in this situation. And then I would just reiterate what Commissioner Zachmeyer brought up, is that it isn't in the ordinance right now as far as doing that, so it's, we haven't done it on any other subdivisions in the county, so I don't know why we'd want to put it on this one. So I'd stand for any questions.
Commissioners have any questions for Mark? So what we're looking for here is to approve the final plat and then whether or not we want to include that hard surfacing agreement as a requirement.
Correct. The plat and the zoning map amendments for commercial and
Correct,
industrial.
yep. And then that, whether we not, biggest thing is whether or not we include that
Correct.
agreement.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I don't believe we should. I agree with the discussions that were at planning and zoning, that we should come up with a rule and have public hearings and formally adopt it. But until that time, it is not a requirement. And to require it, I'd have my concerns that that would be proper. It's creating a new rule before a rule is in place. But I also would agree that having commercial or industrial paved is probably to the best interests of the county and to the citizens. We just need to adopt an appropriate rule. I'd be ready to make a motion, Mr. Chairman. if you're
Catches,
ready.
this one will be grandfathered in because it's before the time we get the rule.
Yes.
But Mark made a good point. If you put something in the back, you're gonna want a hard surface coming in there. It's just gonna be natural. To me, the most logical place for a service station, if you were gonna put one in, is right there off the road. And so that eliminates its own problem.
Mr. Chairman, I'd see
Kind
it
of.
getting used there too, on the
Well-
service station.
I don't think it'd be a bad idea that you have that option or that thought in mind. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, are you ready for a motion?
Yep.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move to approve the final plot of the long-form subdivision known as St. Anthony Commercial Park and a zoning map amendment from agricultural to commercial on lots 1 and 2, Block 1, and Lot 1, Block 2, from agricultural to industrial on Lot 2, Block 2, as the subdivision conforms to the regulations established in Article 7 of the Morton County Land Use Code and will create opportunity for the development of local businesses.
I'll second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded to approve the final plat of the long-form subdivision known as St. Anthony Commercial Park, zoning map amendment from agricultural to commercial on lots 1 and 2, Block 1 and Lot 1, Block 2, and from agricultural to industrial on Lot 2, Block 2. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Well, that's very convenient because now we have a lot for our next item. This is a special use permit for the Dakota Butcher Shop in the same location. So this would be Lot 2, Block 2 of St. Anthony Commercial Park. So they are looking to do 12 head of beef per week, maybe move that up to 15 after they get established. So they would slaughter 1 day of the week and then process 4 days of the week. They would have 24 trips, 12, basically 12 drop off, 12 pickup each week, and then employees and they would store inedible waste in a temperature controlled room and have that picked up by a licensed carrier once a week. So very few or minimal trips to the facility. Morgan Sioux did say that they can provide 3-phase power here, and Missouri West Water can provide water for the facility. So that's the elevation of what the building would look like. They do plan to have animals all indoors, so no outdoor corrals to avoid anything getting out on the Highway 6, which would be a great idea to avoid that. Um, And then there's the site plan. We have, it's really faint, but, so this, they would reserve quite a bit of space for septic system. And the conditions in your packet, these were, well, condition 1, because we adopted our minor meat processing standards just a few days after this application came in. I'm suggesting referencing those standards rather than listing them all out again as conditions. So condition 1, that the use would abide by the performance standards established in section 5-270, with the exception of setbacks for the, or the building setbacks, since those didn't apply when they, when this application came through. And then the other conditions were suggested by recommendations of Western Plains Public Health. So that was recommended for approval by Planning and Zoning with those conditions listed, and I can take any questions.
Rendering service coming out of Minnesota?
Yes.
It's gonna have to, I think that's the only one I know of. It's over there.
Mhm.
Anybody in the audience want to speak to this for our sake? Anything you want to add? Just state your name and...
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Stephen Dakota with St. Anthony Meats. As for that rendering service you were talking about, that's Central Byproducts of Long Prairie, Minnesota.
Okay.
Is there any questions the Commission would like to ask me tonight?
Not getting much.
Do you want, Steve, do you want to kind of just explain what your plan is? Is that about you're going to just do custom slaughter for now and the possibility of move up the chain?
Yes, ma'am. I don't want to take federal slaughter off of our radar. I just want to make sure our systems are refined and that we're efficient before we start getting ahead of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
State approved? It would be state inspected?
No, custom exempt.
Just custom exempt, okay. Anybody have any other questions?
Mr. Chair, I got a question for Natalie, and for the developer too, or the owner. It's a minor question, but again, used to commercial developments, but a site plan that includes more than just the building footprint. So in our packet, I don't have any information showing the septic or any of that sort of stuff, or parking or any of those information to support that.
I never know what level of detail we want to get into for County Commission, but Planning and Zoning, so they did get the, the building layout, and then and so the darker area is the building, and then this is parking. And then this shows, it's really faint, but basically they've got their tank runs, and then drain field would be out in that area. Western Plains has been in contact, I believe, with the applicant. They're aware of it. They said they thought there's room enough here to accomplish what they want. I did talk to Western Plains staff a lot when we were developing our ordinance, and they were talking about installing that flow meter to make sure that the septic system that is designed is the same as the water that's actually getting used. So that's in our new standards. Yep, so that's why I'm referencing those in particular, that there would be a requirement to have a flow meter installed on this facility. And then after a year, they would track and report those numbers to Western Plains and just say, okay, here's what water we actually used, and then compare that to the capacity that the septic system was designed for. and then give them a construction season if they need to upgrade based on that water usage. So,
Okay. Yeah, that was not in our packets.
yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Just never know, Natalie, what we want.
Yeah, it's okay. So I don't want to overwhelm, especially making color copies or lots of copies.
It's been
For anyone that's listening in online, it is in the planning and zoning packet. So if you go back to planning and zoning
You
meetings.
can find it.
it's in
Yep,
there.
Yep.
yep, if you go back and look at that agenda.
Yep.
Packet.
Yeah, and if you want all the detail about the standards for minor meat processing, then that's a packet prior to that.
Yep. I do like the interior pens idea, shut the door and then unload them. I've seen the sheriff's department try and take a hog down that got out of my dad's pickup in the ditch. It did not go well. And then he had to help load it all bloody. So, we don't want to do that on Highway 6.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Natalie on this one? Or a motion if you're so desired?
Mr. Chairman, I have a motion if you're ready.
Everybody else ready? They're all shaking their head, they're good, no questions, so go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, move to approve a special use permit to allow a minor meat processing facility for Gata Butcher Shop, also known as St. Anthony Meats, on Lot 2, Block 2, St. Anthony Commercial Park, as the use has adequate separation from occupied residences and will support a community economic need. With the following 4 conditions. Condition number 1, the use must abide by the performance standards established in Section 5-270, minor meat processing facility, with the exception of the setback standards. Condition number 2, the use of cleaning chemicals should be kept to a minimum to support septic system functioning. Condition number 3, all solid materials should be handled as a solid waste. Fine grates should be put on all floor and sink drains to catch any small particles and hair. And condition number 4, the use of 2 wastewater tanks is recommended with ample space between each tank to allow for cooling of wash water and for fat to solidify before entering the drain field.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
All right. We have a motion to approve the special use permit for a minor meat processing facility for Gata Butcher Shop on Lot 2, Block 2, St. Anthony Commercial Park, with the conditions as presented. I'm not going to try and remember all of them. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
And then I just wanted to point your attention to 2 items. Planning and zoning budget was recommended for approval by the Planning and Zoning Commission. And then our carbon capture ordinance is going for what we anticipate will be the final public hearing at P&Z in September, later this month. And then we'll come to County Commission the following meeting, which will be October 9th, I think, that first Thursday in October. So just so you know, that's coming.
When is our budget final? 23rd, so that's, yeah.
Good.
We don't want to double them two up.
To overlap. Okay.
Will we have to have a public hearing at that
No.
commission one?
Nope, we've had plenty at planning and zoning. I mean, obviously it's your discretion, but it is not planned for a public
Yeah,
hearing.
we have the requirement of public comment, but
Correct. But they have to
we
submit
can
their
be-
card ahead of time.
card and time limit, so.
Yes, yeah,
And we will enforce that.
yes,
So anybody listening right now, we're going to have to start doing that.
yep. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.
Yes, Alan?
Can I just jump in?
Yes.
Would you have Jeff Davis here?
Oh, Jeff showed up. Perfect.
I apologize, Commissioner, I was in Burley County at the juvenile drug court, and I made it back, and I didn't realize that it was already 5:35 when I had gotten a text message that I was late, so my apologies, Commission.
You were busy. So just tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from and all that. And
Born and raised Phoenix, Arizona.
2 for 2 tonight.
I was Stutzman County Assistant State's Attorney from 16 to late 17. Moved back to Phoenix and then practiced some personal injury, medical malpractice stuff down there. And then I was lucky enough to see a advertisement for the Morton County Assistant State's Attorney's Office and decided to apply, and God willing, here I am.
Couldn't stay away from the snow, right?
It's the good people. North Dakota nice.
Yeah, there you go. Good. Welcome. Anybody have any questions?
Nope, other than, welcome back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you back.
It's great to be back.
Went to law school at UND?
No, actually, down in Arizona.
Okay.
Can't get them all, Andy.
Well, that's,
But my nephew plays at Kansas State football, and UND beat them last week in football, so there's a good one for you.
there's a good plus. So how are you gonna feel cheering for the Twins over the Diamondbacks?
Well, I'm okay right now. Well, actually, both seasons aren't going well, so it's almost
Yeah.
a toss-up the way it is. Both of them just kind of got rid of their all their teams anyway, so it's really kind of a minute moment right now.
Yeah. Just wait for the end so it's over.
Yeah, we'll see how everything plays out.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Al.
Mr. Chairman, I was going to be introducing Mr. Davis, but he kind of jumped ahead of me there, but
He did just a good job.
yes, Mr. Davis started in August, and he's been doing really great work for us. He's already got a caseload that we're overburdening him with, and he was at Stutzman County, as he had mentioned, and he came highly recommended from State's Attorney Fritz Fremgen, so we're glad to have him.
When did Declan start? It was just when did
In
he-
August as well.
Both of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Al. John, our county engineer is up next.
Yeah, good evening, Commissioners and Auditor Roan. Before you this evening, requesting approval for out-of-state travel for myself and for Chad Schneider, our road superintendent. What we would like to do is attend the Caterpillar Governmental Training and Safety Days in Peoria, Illinois. And it is sponsored by Caterpillar and would involve all various aspects of equipment, whether it's ownership, purchasing, cooperative purchasing, financing, safety, new products, new things coming down the line, and demonstrations of new equipment. Casey Erickson, our sales rep, has not attended one before, but he says it's been highly recommended from past experiences. So from what he has heard, we would be departing on September 30th, returning the evening October 2nd of 2025. We will be attending with road superintendents from Emmons, Wells, and Corson counties. I've attached a copy of the itinerary for the trip. There would be no fiscal impact as all travel, lodging, and meals would be covered by Butler Machinery. And we would look at this as a training event, a networking event, and learning about new equipment, financing, safety, visiting with reps from the company and from other counties and other states. And with that, I would be open to any questions you may ask.
It's in the budget, I believe?
There's no budget.
Or no?
This has no impact. It's-
None at all?
Yeah.
Okay,
Corporate sponsored.
got it.
Paul, have you gone to this?
I've been to these facilities, and I believe it's well worth the time for yourself and for Chad. I do have a question. Does any of this qualify as continuing ed for you?
I do not believe so, because it's geared more for a road superintendent level, which does not require
Right.
any type of certification.
Right.
So,
Okay.
But I do get my PDHs through the other conferences, such as the County Engineers Conference and the Local Roads Conference and things like that, so.
Yeah. For the rest of the commissioners, I have been to these facilities. I do know the basic format of the training, and I strongly support this, whether it's Caterpillar or any other manufacturer. I think we get an awful lot out of it by having our employees attend these sessions, and you learn a lot more about, it's a good opportunity to interact with your counterparts from the other counties as well, and considered experts, I guess, if they want to call them that, on equipment operation and maintenance. But I strongly support this.
Driving down? Nope, flying. As you fly over Madison, you can wave, we'll be coming back from Wisconsin.
All right.
Well, somebody got a motion to
Ready?
allow them to
Yep.
go for,
Mr. Chairman, I move to authorize out-of-state travel for John Psyche and Chad Schneider to attend Caterpillar 2025 Governmental Training Safety Days event in Peoria, Illinois.
Second.
been moved and seconded to approve out-of-state travel for John Psyche and Chad Schneider to attend Caterpillar Government Training and Safety Days, September 30th to October 2nd, 2025 in Peoria, Illinois. Is there any discussion?
Just, Mr. Chair, just for the record, just clarifying that there's no expense to Morton County on this.
Yep.
There is no expense to Morton County.
Yep.
Correct.
Any other discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Well, thank you all. Thank you for your support.
Let us know how it goes.
Charles and James.
Don. Property tax incentive application.
So we have St. Anthony Meets on the agenda once again, and in your packet is the application for property tax incentives that they have submitted.
This is the first one we've dealt with since you and I have been on here, hasn't it, Ray?
I'd make a suggestion that we invite them, we invite the company to come forward and
Applicant.
to speak on behalf of the company.
Good evening again, Commissioners. I have 6 packets here to hand out of our startup expenses and projected revenue, if you'd like to have them.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
All right, so in the first couple pages here is just our overall startup costs, including land, equipment, construction. And then further back, you will find our projected revenue, which we have taken good care of optimism that we will be profitable off the bat, but we would hope to have not necessarily an advantage, but just an insurance that in these first couple crucial years that we will be successful, and we hope that this tax incentive would help.
Are there any questions?
Do you just plan to do beef? I guess I forgot to ask you. Is it gonna be pork as well, or,
Pork and lamb as well.
and lamb too? Okay.
When you plan to be, haven't dived too deeply into this yet, but when you plan to be up and running?
So our original construction date of October 29th, before we submitted for the special use permit, had construction complete sometime around mid-April. So we're hoping with this 1 month head start to be sometime around March, if everything goes according to their schedule.
And Mother Nature.
That too. Yes.
How did you arrive at your request as far as, total amount and also the time period? The question I've got is, what is the impact on the county? I get it, there's business coming down the road, and there's tax revenue coming down the road, which we all want. But the request is for 5 years and 100% relief on taxes, so.
Are you asking for what positive impact we could provide for the area, sir?
Steve, could you pull that mic up just a little? That's okay, we can hear you better. We want your voice to pick up on the mic so anybody listening can hear.
If I may, I'm
Yes.
the boy's father, Jay Goda.
Speak into the mic, please.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm Jay Goda, the boy's father. I've been shepherding their business because these guys work long hours and don't always have time to get the details. So I've been helping with some of the things behind the scenes, but essentially what they're trying to portray to you here is that they're making a significant investment in their plant and equipment. And obviously as a new startup, they're concerned about some of these things are blue sky as far as revenues, and there are unforeseen circumstances that maybe they haven't considered. And so as far as a property tax incentive, that if they were profitable, they'd be very comfortable with giving up any incentive. But in the first few years, when they'll be operating by the skin of their teeth and hoping to hit their numbers, but any assistance would greatly benefit these young guys at this point. So that's essentially, it's hard for us to know or for them to know what the future may hold, other than they have a good design and a grasp on their costs and a willingness to work, but some things are outside their control, and so they're looking for a little assistance. I think Commissioner Tokash, I had talked to the county at one point, and I think the numbers are even in the expense side. I think property taxes on a project like this would be in the neighborhood of about $12,000 a year, roughly.
Okay, appreciate that number. We're talking roughly, and again, it's an estimate, I get it. Roughly 60,000 we're talking about.
Well, and if they're profitable in year 2, year 3, they have no problem with that being removed. They would like a little assistance in getting launched, and that may have been my error. I helped complete the paperwork. I thought we only asked for 3, and if I marked 5, that maybe is an error on my part.
It's interesting you said that, because that was going to be one of my suggestions, is I applaud you guys for working to get a business up and going.
Yeah.
We need that stuff in the county. So I applaud you for doing that, and personally, I don't have a problem with helping that along to make sure it's successful. We don't want anything to go belly up. But 5 years I thought was a little bit excessive.
Yeah.
So
I don't think
that's
we disagree.
my point of view.
Yeah.
So
Mr. Chair, I got a couple of questions, comments,
Yes,
kind of
Commissioner
tying in
Rowe.
with Mr. Tokash here, but again, if you want to paint the picture for the business side of it, how many employees, how many full-time, how many part-time, how do you plan to ramp up? That's your investment back to Morton County, so can you paint that picture for us?
Yes, so the more efficient we get, the more beef we plan on scheduling, or pork or lamb, hiring more employees when we have the budget for it. That is the future we see for the
But
business.
when you open up the doors, what's your staffing level?
4.
Okay, and that's all
It
full-time?
would be 3 full-time and 1 part-time.
Okay,
And then if you look at other plants in the general vicinity, they have quite extensive waiting lists, so there is excess demand. So they don't look as they would be taking opportunity away from somebody else. They're just trying to create more opportunity for local producers to market to more consumers direct, to maybe expand the pie instead of taking from the pie. And then as they ramp up, as their demand, they're gonna wanna meet it with more employees. But coming out of the gate, they just can't guarantee that they would hire X number of people. You're looking at the 2 main guys who, if they have to work Saturdays and Sundays, they will.
Chairman, I'm
Yes.
just calculating some rough numbers on $1.5 million of taxable valuation in that area with the Little Heart School District and Mandan Fire. With what I know of this year's mills, using last year's mills and adjusting the county mills accordingly to what our decrease is, it's about $9,000 a year is what the property tax would be on 1.5 million of full tax, or full and true value.
and again, for just in perspective, the question for property tax, because there's the lay person out there does not fully comprehend what a property tax incentives are. And they just immediately, I'm paraphrasing here, but they immediately think that it's just being taken away from the coffers right off the bat. That's part of the rationale why we're asking these questions for the listening public. Okay, but the other part again is as you come open up the doors, you got roughly 4 employees, three full-time, 1 part-time, if I heard you correctly, is right?
Correct.
So looking at a 3-year span, where do you see yourself expanding? Understanding that the market is still out there, that yes, there is a demand that's out there. I process my own, but then we'll also buy through another processor too. So might get my customer support if that's the case.
So as Stephen had spoken earlier, he saying once they're comfortable with their processes and the plant is humming pretty well, then they look at doing federally inspected beef, and that way they can create product that's value added, sausage, potentially there's Rusty's Saloon. Wouldn't it be amazing if Tokash beef could be marketed inside of Rusty's Saloon, and Rusty's could say, this week we're featuring Tokash or Schmidt Angus or Ellingson or name your ranch in that area. And so they're then have opportunity for more value-added products, which potentially then they could hire more people to produce that product.
So has this all been penned out in their business plan?
That stage of it is the big dream, but that they haven't gotten beyond a custom exempt at this point.
Okay.
But that would be the goal. But first, be profitable, being custom exempt and meeting an immediate demand in the area, and taking advantage of opportunity as it comes.
Sure.
Again, I appreciate those comments. I just want to make a point of clarification here. To my knowledge, there's been no discussion with my family on selling beef here or myself or any of that.
Or
So
just name dropping some of the famous operators in the neighborhood.
I'm not going to recuse myself for a conflict of interest because there's nothing going on right now. So.
Well, and if any of you have gone to get an appointment for beef or lamb or pork, lamb is almost non-existent because we used to raise sheep, and so I know that it's hard to find somebody to do it, and you have to wait. They have a waiting list of a year or more.
Yep.
So the guy that does ours, he makes his appointment for his 6 head, and it's a standing appointment. So I know what you're dealing with. Yep.
Did you guys go to NDSU or any place in particular where you picked up your need or want to be a cutting meat?
No, sir. I left Montana State University around 2020, just because the way school was getting handled during COVID, I thought it'd be better just to kind of put it aside until things made a bit more sense. Took up cutting meat at a Kroger in Bozeman, and so happened that the floral lady's husband ran a slaughter plant in just down the road in Belgrade, Montana, and asked me, do you want to learn how to kill beef? And it's like, sure, got nothing else going on.
And I myself was going to Bismarck State College, and once I had, heard his idea was kind of taking off, I figured, I would love to support my brother and work with him, and if we can see this thing through and see where it takes us, I'd love to be a part of it. So that's where I am now, and we're currently working together in New Salem.
Okay, you guys are out in New Salem right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, working for Spencer?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, question?
Yes, sir.
First, just a comment, I like this packet.
Yeah.
I think it's in-depth and very good. But who's Prairie Prime Meats?
Oh. Sorry, that was probably a typo we didn't catch and you did, but that was maybe one of the first names they thought, but they're gonna operate as St. Anthony Meats, and that's how they're registered with State of North Dakota, St. Anthony Meats LLC. So Prairie Prime was...
We decided we'd like to better highlight the area we're serving.
And then it's 900 Prospect Point, Bismarck. Everything else is,
So where the property will be developed, you've just approved. We don't have a physical street address for the plant yet, so the 900 is my residence. He's still living under my wing.
Yep.
And so as an officer of the corporation, he used our residence address.
Yep. Right. Standard process.
Mr. Chairman,
And sorry, Commissioner, just to clarify, I have no financial interest in this property, just a father's interest in his boys succeeding.
well, this is a very good packet.
Yep, well put together.
Mr. Chairman, the last time Morton County had one like this was Nova Spec valves. And they came in with a very good packet also. This pack was even better than what Nova Spec had. Nova Spec at the time showed that they would be having 2 years of loss once they started. The third year they would have somewhat of a profit, and then fourth and fifth year they would be quite profitable. I don't remember the number of jobs they created. Something like 15 to 20 is coming to mind, but I don't remember that part. Commissioner Mark Bitts was on the commission at that time, and he mentioned that absolutely 100% property tax exemption for the first 2 years. He was in full support of, and I just remembered his argument because I thought it was logical. The third year, the profits were minimal, so he would have supported it the third year, but he left that open to discussion. The fourth and the fifth year, though, he mentioned the possibility of rolling it back. So the application is for 5 years. Unless there's rules changed on this, and I'm not aware of any. I don't know if Auditor Roan or State's Attorney Copy, I don't believe there was a rules rollback. So one of the things the commission could consider would be 3 years at 100%, then like 50% for the fourth year, 25% for the fifth year, and then it expires. That was basically the agreement with Nova Spec many years ago. So that's also an option that was how Nova Spec was handled. If we did something similar here, I believe we'd be fair.
I wasn't here for Nova Spec, but that was, my line of thinking was the same thing. 3 years at 100, 75 for the percent on the third or fourth year, and 50 on the last year, and then it would be done.
And then it would be done.
Yeah, then that was my thought right now.
Anyway, I'd like to take the credit for that idea, but
Go
that
ahead.
was Commissioner Bitts. He was, and the rules definitely allowed for it at that time, and that was pretty much what the county commission gave Nova Spec back in those days. Also, commissioners, any property tax break we give this business, that does go back. It still has to be absorbed by the county and can come back to the other property taxpayers. Because it's not forgiven, the state, I'm sure, is gonna say, you gotta figure out another way to raise that. But it's what's on the benefit to the county on the other side.
Yep.
Not to mention the fact that this can spawn more growth.
Yep.
In the rural area.
Especially in an area that needs it,
Well,
but has the potential for it.
Bringing three-phase power in, that can also stem off with future growth.
Yep.
Nova Spec had a very good proposal. That has worked out well for the county. I feel that this can work out well for the county too.
So what are the wishes of the commission? Or do you have any more questions and the need for information?
Well, Mr. Chairman, just speaking for me personally, I would support 100% for 3 years and then a gradual rollback through year 4 and year 5 with it ending after year 5.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to that effect that we authorize a 3-year property tax exemption for St. Anthony Meats for the duration of 5 years, with 3 years 100% property tax exemption. Year 4 would be at a 50% property tax exemption, and year 5 would be at a 25% property tax exemption.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the property tax incentive for St. Anthony Meats LLC for the first 3 years at 100% tax exemption. Year 4 would be a 50% tax exemption, and year 5 would be a 25% tax exemption. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? We'll do a roll call vote on this one. Let's see, Commissioner Morrell made the motion.
Yes.
Commissioner Zachmeyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Buckley?
Yes, yes.
Commissioner Tokash?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Motion carries.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Have you guys talked to Bismarck Mandan Chamber EDC with their Economic Development Fund? That there's a possibility of some funding there, depending on how it all works out.
We were recently made aware of that. We will be looking into it.
I met with Nathan Schneider yesterday, so. Okay, just wanted to make you aware of it.
Thank you.
You bet.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have per North Dakota Century Code 44-04-20.1, we have our open public comment period. And with that, I will open up our public comment period. We got security online and somebody else. Sure. Second call for any public comment, online or in the room. And last call for public comment. Okay, seeing none, I will close our public comment period for this meeting. Is there anything else that is good for the order?
Trying to remember what's on the calendar, but I know Hebron has a few things coming up here these next couple of weeks, and Glen Ellen, so just making sure our citizens are fully aware of what's going on across Morton County. Hebron Mud Run, September 20th. Glen Ellen Car Show on September 23rd. No, Men and Golden Age Club, I'm sorry, that was wrong. Motion to adjourn?
Is there a second? been moved to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. We are adjourned.
Yeah, Glen Ellen was last month, I think.